I'm Geoff Hazelrigg. This is George Hazelrigg. We're here from Hazelrigg Industries today at Water Street Sound. We're excited to talk about the new release of our MixWave plugin, the VLC. So we started with the VT2, the VT microphone preamp design, and packaged it into the VLC, our mic preamp. Considering the other features that we needed a DI input, we needed a line input, and we needed the equalizer for it, passive equalizer. Because the passive equalizer needs makeup gain, we took another amplifier section, put it after the amplifier. So when people say, oh, is it exactly the same as a VT preamp? It's exactly the same, except that you're running through twice as many tubes.
Which makes some difference.
It absolutely makes a difference. We're still dealing with the same headroom capability, the same total harmonic distortion numbers, pretty much the same thing, the same frequency response.
A lot of it was ergonomics. This unit, you can pull out of your bag, throw it on the desk, console, whatever in the studio, not have to reach around it to plug in a microphone, not have to reach around it to plug a bass or a guitar or something into it. By the way, it sounds pretty awesome with an electric guitar plugged straight into it.
Mm-hmm. And then having the EQ on it to shape a little bit. You can shape a little bit or a lot. We love ribbon microphones. We use ribbon microphones far more than any other microphone. You plug a ribbon microphone into the VLC and the sound is there and it takes equalization brilliantly. You want a little bit more brightness, need a little less low end from proximity. We designed the EQ to be able to shape that sound into something not just useful, but extraordinary.
If you're doing a vocal and you want a C800 level of top end on it, grab that's the wrong knob. Grab the high boost and turn it all the way up. That's the other thing about this EQ. Full deflection. You can go 0 to all the way and it will never sound bad. You will always give you a useful sound. It has no bad habits, no artifacty kind of nasty things in the sound or anything. And so you can dime every control on this unit, it'll still sound great. The VLC and our V&E compressor that goes with it are quickly becoming the new de facto standard vocal chain. We just got one off to Bob Horn and he's announcing to the world that this is the best new vocal chain out there. We've had a lot of big engineers who have been doing this for a long time. I mentioned Mike Miller, Mark Parfit, who's one of Justin Bieber's guys.
Baines, Tizio.
That's the recording world. These things are even being used in the live world. So if you go see Post Malone in concert, his vocal is going through a VLC and a V&E.
If you go see Tate McRae, her vocal is going through a VLC and then into a V&E.
We had not considered doing a plugin for a very long time for various reasons. Most of that came down to we didn't like how a lot of plugins sounded or interacted or represented the equipment that they were supposed to represent, and I think we just didn't have very high hopes for that sort of thing. And
just no good experiences, no good personal experiences.
Not really, yeah. And then, so 150 years ago, I worked at a music store with my friend Mark Williams, and we're still friends. And he said, hey, I'm working with these guys at MixWave. You should think about doing a plugin. And I started to go into a tirade about what a terrible idea that was. And then I stopped myself and thought, maybe I should look into this. And I talked to Geoff about it, and he agreed, yeah, maybe we should dig further into this. So we met the team and really liked the team. We thought, well, we should do our due diligence in the industry just to see who else is out there. And we just felt that this was the best fit. We thought this was the most exciting outfit in the industry, and it has turned out to be a great fit, and we're extraordinarily pleased with the outcome of this.
We got the beta and we have our 1887 Steinway B in the studio that we'd recorded, and I opened the track up and put the plugin on it and turned the knobs, and it's kind of amazing that I didn't expect that the software would actually feel and react as closely to the hardware as it does.
We were both shocked, actually, I should say.
The other thing that really kind of blew me away with the beta is when you're using the hardware, at least for me, I know the hardware inside and out, literally. I know what to expect out of it. I know what it does. I feel like the MixWave team got everything out of it that they could get out of it, even in ways that I didn't expect that they could. It's kind of astounding.
Yeah, I think it's this component modeling approach that they take is very different than how these things are generally put together, and I think that's made an enormous difference in the performance of the software.
I think one of the things that the plugin really exceeded my expectations on, a lot of it's about the EQ. The EQ in the VLC, it's a inductor capacitor EQ, which is it has a very natural sound to it. All the curves are very natural. When I say natural, they're shapes that our ears like. You know, we're not twisting up things. When I turn that high boost frequency up, it feels very much like an inductor equalizer. You know, when I boost that high in the plugin, it's very pleasant. You know, and again, you can turn all the knobs up all the way and it still sounds very pleasant. In practice, you know, having that low cut too, especially because we're recording so much with a ribbon mic, being able to gently roll off that low end in a way that I expect, in a way that I'm used to. Yeah, it's
plus it does it in stereo,
right,
which is actually big, because we were doing a quick mix on something the other day and just needed to get a reference mix out the door, and Geoff said, oh, well, let's just pull this up, and just rolled off a little low end, and it was like, wow, this actually does work the same way. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, really convenient, and again, just natural sounding. They just match what the hardware does really well.